Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars Battlefront II Modded. I am Atyrum, and today we're taking a look at the Ultimate Battlefront, the Clone Wars mod. Another mod that was made by myself back in the day under the name Xavius. So it has been quite a while. This was really the last thing I ever made for Battlefront 2, and it was released back in October of 2009, I believe. So yeah, it has been quite a while since I released this mod, and I don't think I really released anything after this. So this was really kind of like my final hurrah as far as making Star Wars Battlefront 2 mods goes, and it was probably the most comprehensive. I mean, I look back on it now, and I feel like there's a lot of potential there that kind of went unrealized, but that's okay. So kind of the core of the mod is its big draw is the fact that every time you load up a map, the units on each side are completely randomized. You'll get like a different clone legion, you'll get like a different heroes and all sorts of stuff every time you play. And we're going to play as our hero maybe, and obviously there's a whole bunch of different units to go over, and we'll go over that in due time. But every time you load up the map, there's going to be random clone legions, random clone commandos, random units, all that cool stuff. And kind of the basis of the mod, the basics of the units classes. There's 3 unit classes. There's a regular clone trooper, and there's a recon trooper, which is like the sniper, and there's a heavy trooper. So the regular trooper is kind of like a mix between fast and powerful, whereas this guy is going to be a bit slower and more powerful, and then the sniper is going to be faster and a little less powerful, and has less armor and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of tried to cut a balance between those 3. Although in a later version of this mod that I was working on that I never released, I ended up changing that up, and I think I removed the heavy variant, and instead of having like a light, a medium, and a heavy, I had a light, medium / heavy, and then an engineer, because I felt like that worked a little bit better. Right now there isn't really an engineer class, I don't believe. Oh, I'm on fire. I don't remember. I don't think there's an engineer class right now. There is a medic. I guess the medic is like the engineer class. Let's go ahead and give the medic a try. The medic has the same type of rifle as the regular clone trooper. He also has a turret dispenser. We can drop a turret anywhere, and it can be used by ourselves or allies. He's also got health and ammo dispensers, kind of like the default unit in the default game. And the regular blaster carbine, like the regular rifle that the regular trooper uses, is a little more inaccurate, whereas the heavy rifle that the heavy trooper would have is a little more accurate, just to make sure to balance them out a little bit. Suppose I can talk a little bit about this map. This is the Geonosis Arena map. This is a completely custom model that was pulled, I think, from Pandemic's earlier game, the Star Wars Clone Wars game. We can go in and play as the Elite Trooper, I suppose, who is really just the anti-vehicle trooper in some maps. In this map, he looks like he's just got a shotgun, but in maps that have vehicles, he would be an anti-vehicle trooper, or would have a a rocket launcher instead. But so yeah, this is a Geonosis Arena map. It's using a model that comes from Pandemic's, the creator of this game's earlier game, which was Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Came out like in 2002, I think, when Star Wars Episode 2 came out. And this model was converted over, and I used it kind of as the basis of this map. It's a really simple map. There's really not too much to it. Just kind of got a bunch of command posts with one in the middle up here. So nothing, super complex or anything like that. I mean, that's probably one of the biggest problems with this mod, is I didn't really do anything too spectacular with the maps. None of the maps really stand out very much, in my opinion. I say that as the one who made these maps. I can tell you right now they're not my best work. Kind of getting attacked by Grievous here. So yeah, I guess that's the end of the mission. There's a couple of things that didn't make it into the final mod, and I'll be talking about those as I get to the maps they were in. But there was originally a campaign mode mission, like an actual objective mission, in the Geonosis Arena map, which had you playing as a Jedi and defending yourself, basically like in Star Wars Episode 2, but I never ended up finishing that, and it ended up getting cut. So the only game mode on the Geonosis Arena map ends up being the Conquest mode. This is going to be the Geonosis, the regular land map, and this is a a decent sized map, and there's 2 game modes on it: regular conquest as well as Uber mode. And Uber mode is basically conquest but with a ton of units. So we're gonna have a big, massive battle here. Play as a sniper just to give him a shot, even though I'm not very good at aiming. But yeah, we're going to work up some points on the CIS side so we can play as their units. This mod is going to take several videos to show off in its entirety, so I'm not too worried about showing off every unit in this video. There are 5 maps included in the mod, plus there's 1 map. I actually did release 1 other map after I completed this mod, and my shots are going way wild. Do I have to stand still to snipe, maybe? But there was one other map as well that was released as a standalone map, but also had support, so you could play the Ultimate Battlefront, the Clone Wars era on it. So we'll probably include that in the list of maps we play, just to give that one a try and for a little bit of variety. So I'm guessing this will probably be a 4 or 5 part mod review, if you could call it that, because we'll do all 5 of the maps that are included in this mod, as well as the 1 extra map, and we'll also be doing maybe 2 stock maps here or there. There's a couple of maps that have some unique game modes on them. Other than just the regular old conquest, we'll probably give those a shot just to show them off. There is a lot of content. There's a lot of new game modes added in. Well, not really like new game modes as in new. Oh, Mace Windu, hey there. Not like super like fresh or new, but like they have different kinds of units that we can go and give a shot. So there are some modified force powers in this mod. Every force power needs to be charged up. If you use it uncharged, it doesn't really do anything. This is Force Lightning. It's going to send people flying backwards as well as do a ton of damage. It's basically an instant kill on a lot of units. But yeah, it is super powerful. You've also got Force Vacuum, which is a amped up Force Pull. If we get in the middle of a bunch of units and use it, it basically pulls them all towards us and does a bit of damage as well. So yeah, those are the 2 powers that Count Dooku has. The other powers in the mod include Force Heal, which heals up any nearby units. Force Push, which will show off, or not Force Push, it's Force Wave, I think, which will show off in a little bit here when we get another hero unit, probably in the next video. And there's also Saber Throw, which is unchanged from the default game. I did make sure to give every hero unit their proper lightsaber hilt, so Count Dooku has the proper lightsaber hilt and all that. The units, like I said, are all completely randomized, so it just happens to be complete chance that we actually got the correct canon units here. We got the Phase 1 Clone Troopers, and we also got Count Dooku and Mace Windu as the heroes. Normally it doesn't work out like that. Normally you get something funny, like you have, like, I don't know, General Grievous here. You would have maybe like the 501st, or I mean, there's several different clone legions in this mod. The 607th, the fan-made legion that I made up for the Saga, the 607th mod, is also in this mod, so you can play as them as well. There are another set of units that will show up. Although, to be honest, a lot of times when they show up, things don't always match up. So you'll get, like the 607th, but you won't get, Zacian with them. The Jedi that led them in the Saga, the 607th, you'll end up getting, like, I don't know, like Anakin or something like that. But yeah, I did want to make sure that things were randomized like that, because it's just a lot more fun that way. Because there's just so many different options, and like every time you load up the game, you get a different game, you get different units to play around with. I think it adds a bit of replay value, and I do find myself going back to this mod fairly often to play through it. Right now we're playing as the Magna Guard, which is one of General Grievous's bodyguards from the Star Wars Episode 3 movie. Doesn't have a block with his Electro Staff because that would be a little overpowered, and neither does the Clone Trooper melee unit. He can still do the front flip that Darth Maul does, because he does have a Darth Maul combo, but he is kind of a glass cannon type of unit, and you will probably die fairly easily as him. Obviously very good in closed-in areas, but he also is pretty quick, so you kind of get around the battlefield and stop himself from being damaged too much as long as you aren't getting surrounded. Kind of the best way to play him is just to run around and hit stuff and kind of run away after you're done. You do have a back-to-pack if he needs to heal up. You can drop that in front of you, maybe. There we go. Sometimes it doesn't work. That's just kind of a quirk of the game. Yeah, kind of trying like a hit-and-run kind of style of fighting is probably the best thing you can do with the Magna Guard, since you can't really defend yourself. I think I'm going to go ahead and play as Count Dooku now, except not. I'm going to go ahead and play as a different unit to show them off. Commando Droid is actually a really interesting one. because he has a disguise kit, which lets him disguise himself as a clone trooper. And you can actually sneak behind enemy lines with that. He's also got grenades and a pistol and a rifle. Kind of standard weapon. Nothing too creative there. I know I kind of harped on the Force Awakens mod about, you know, not being creative enough with its weapons. I feel like this mod also suffers from the same kind of issue, where a lot of times the other unlocks for the higher level unlocks tend to just be upgrades with more powerful weapons. Basically, the rifles fire faster and do more damage and that kind of stuff. So it's actually really beneficial to just keep the Clone Trooper cloak on, and then that way clones won't attack you unless you get really close to them, in which case they recognize your disguise. But I can just hang out here with the droids, and they don't notice that anything is going on until we start shooting them, at which point they'll be like, hey, wait a minute, that guy's not with us, he's our enemy. But yeah, it actually is really beneficial to use the disguise kit, because then you're not going to get shot at by a bunch of people. We can just run around wherever we want. You cannot capture command posts with the disguise kit on, because that would be a little cheaty, but it looks like we're not winning at the moment, so we definitely need to capture command posts. This map does tend to lead to a standstill where both sides don't really capture command posts, because all the battle tends to happen right in the middle. There just tends to be a lot of fighting. So yeah, we do want to try and capture command posts so we can get the reinforcement drain going on our enemies. I'm going to throw a grenade at that, even though it's probably not going to do very much. And we're getting hit by the ATTE's lasers now, which is not a good thing, because they can kill us pretty quickly. Let's see if we can hold this command post for a little bit, let some allies spawn over here. And we are getting pretty low on reinforcement counts, so we might actually lose this this map here, because our guys are probably going to die pretty quick, especially to the AGTE up here. But we are getting quite a few kills in, so we might be okay, as long as we don't get snuck up on by Mace Windu or something like that. I've only seen him once, though. And that is one little other thing about this mod, is that the AI will control heroes as well. Rather than just setting the heroes as normal units and letting the AI use them there, they do actually spawn in as hero units, which is a nice little feature, and that means when you play as a hero that you will take over that spot. But anyways, we did lose this mission, but that's okay. I did get to show off what I wanted to show off. So in the next episode, we're going to take a look again at some more maps in this mod, and yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and look forward to more Ultimate Battlefront: The Clone Wars in the next episode. Thanks for watching.